Hello my friends, welcome to another video. Today we are doing some shoreline looting. Specifically we're going for stashes plus some extra stuff. As you can see, we spawned that path to shoreline. We're gonna run to the village. You can do this route either way. I'm gonna put on the screen right now how much money we're gonna make, or how much money we made from this specific raid. And then make sure you follow along and see how we made that money. So I'm gonna run along the wall here and I'm gonna cut to the village and I'll see you there. Alright, as you can see, we are in the village. Now, generally I would start off on that side, but I do want to show you this one stash. And it's right here in this bush. One thing I want to mention is make sure you bring the biggest bag you can, the biggest rig, and obviously some sort of protection in terms of weapons. If you cannot afford a very big bag, make sure you bring an extra rig inside of your smaller bag so you can get some extra slots. Don't worry too much about the price of items you're picking up, because we are going to pick up pretty much everything. Unless you know the item is like 2 or 3 grand, then obviously you don't want to pick them up, but we are here to just fill the bag. Also, if you know most of the spots in the village, feel free to skip ahead, because this route goes further than the village itself. I don't think the Wilson's worth much, but checking in there. Stash right here that I forgot to check already. Not a good start. I have no idea what the cost of this is, but stash here, check it in there, and check it right there. We gotta run through the fence into the next stash. I'm gonna use a painkiller. Now, generally this route is pretty safe. You may run into people doing the jackets here, because people are looking for keys. But generally, I would say it's relatively safe, because everyone on shoreline goes to resort. It's usually the first like 3-4 minutes that you have to be worry about running into someone. So right next to the road here, inside of this, whatever this is, there's a stash. Around this trash area, you can just run over this wheel on this side and stash right here. Unfortunately, to get back, you have to just jump. Running through the greenhouse here, or through the wall, past the greenhouse. And in this little shack, we have another jacket. Get some rubles. Bank made. Run to the house. In the hallway right here, you have another jacket. Another 2 jackets, sorry. Cigarettes are kind of weird. These sometimes they go for a 6k. Sometimes they go for a 15. I think they're around 10 right now. Go through the door here. Across the road. And right behind the door here you have another jacket. This house has 4 jackets total. Definitely worth hitting in my opinion. Another 2 back here. If I'm not mistaken, there is a box right there that I generally actually skip, but now that I think about it, I don't know why I'm skipping this. It makes absolutely no sense to skip free loot. Honestly, I have no idea what the price of this is. Oh, we'll take it. And we run through here. We go across the road again. Right next to this red shack, you can go enter from here, and you have a toolbox. Toolboxes are great loot. You definitely don't want to skip toolboxes. You tend to get pretty good per slot value items. And they stash right next to it outside. I don't think this gives us any extra space. As you can see, container size 12. If you inspect items, you can see this takes 12, but it also gives 12. Sometimes if you check a rig, or a lot of the times, if you inspect the rig, you can see the that the rigs are actually giving you more space than they take from your backpack, so you get extra space that way. So in the corner there, jackets, and in here 2 jackets as well. I get caught in a loop of explaining something as I'm doing the route, and then I just forget to explain the route itself. More rubles, and then we go across the road once more to the red fenced off house. And into this little shack we have a jacket and a medbag. And through the door you get a medbag here. I think this area is pretty occupied later in the raid because player scavs like to come here, I believe. I generally run into a player scav or two when I'm looting from the other side, or doing this in reverse compared to what I'm doing right now. But I get through the garage, in the door, 2 jackets, and then we turn left here, and we go, don't go out here, go to this corner, you see the red brick house, turn left, and in the garage here you have a duffel bag and 2 toolboxes. Duffel bag here, and a toolbox right here. And we don't get a single thing. This might have been looted by someone that spawned over there. And we're gonna run in through the trees to the right a bit, and we're looking for a some rebels. And right next to the rocks you get another stash. It's interesting that those were empty, but this isn't. Maybe I just got really unlucky with the loot over there. I'm gonna keep myself under the influence of painkillers though, because I do not want to die because I get my leg broken or something. So past this power line, and then you go underneath the power line. This one you can't skip, it's a little bit dangerous. There's a toolbox and a stash here. A toolbox right here. It's a little bit of a sketchy spot. If you once you start getting shot here, you better pray you have some stamina to get out of this. So feel free to skip this one. Hope we have a rig in here because we are already running out of space a little bit. Armor, it's way too heavy. Not worth per slot either, I don't think, that one, so we're gonna leave it behind. Because we do have a lot of stashes, and we have a couple of safes here as well. Now this is a area where Sanitar spawns. And with the recent changes to spawn rates, there's a good chance that you can run into him here if you do it multiple times. And you got a duffel bag right here. So feel free to skip this area as well. But honestly, if you hear Sanitar, just go for it. Even if you die, it's worth the experience if you're a new player. Don't worry about dying too much. And through the door, we go upstairs. There's 2 safes in this house. If this door is opened, then you can be certain that this is looted. So this guy was breathing funny, so he's been shot. And so if we made some noise, we probably want to do a quick looting session here. You got a PC here. I do like to check it. Sometimes you get a GPU. Obviously, it's random. But what did I say? So yeah, if this door is opened, this safe has been looted. Or both safes have been looted, you can just dip out. So, I don't think there's anything ever spawning here. And I have been proved wrong. These are like 5k per mag, so I'm not taking them. But that top part is the safe, so... So, we go out the other way. Through the door, we get a duffel bag right here on the ground. Now, you have an option. If you have a cottage key... I don't carry a cottage key with me usually. I don't carry shoreline keys with me usually in general because they're in a documents case and I've been too lazy to get another stick case. But if you have a cottage key right in here and upstairs there's another safe. Probably should have brought it with me for the sake of the video, but I ain't smart like that. So through the hole in the fence, across the road to this little construction area, Check on top of these. You get some loose loot, plexiglass. Worthless, but I'm still picking it up. And on top of these, and I think on the ground as well. And then you get to the corner, and on the other side of this bush, you have a stash. Main reason I'm doing this with a pistol is because if I find some guns, I can just equip them. And like I said, I don't feel like I'm in danger when I'm doing this run, because at this stage of the wipe, so we're, what, 3 months into the wipe now? 2? I don't even know. Can't count months, but kind of mid-wipe, people are done with most of the shoreline quests, so running into people, it's just a lot smaller of a chance. It's possible that once this video goes live, that's going to be a little more busy for a little while, but if you are a player that's not very confident in PvP, obviously bring a gun that you are comfortable with. You don't have to play a pistol, it's not a requirement. So be careful around this area. People look for shooter born in heaven around here. There's scav snipers on top of there. They can aggro you sometimes. But right here, you're looking for these piles of rocks, and then 1 tree, 2 tree, and then this little tiny plant here. Inside of that, you have another stash. I don't know what this is called. Just a very low on the ground looking plant. And then we're running straight towards resort. Don't worry, we're not going into resorts. We're just looting a stash next to the bus depot here. Now, obviously, you're not always going to get a spawn that's going to allow you to get every single one of these stashes. Sometimes you just kind of have to start midway. Or skip a large section, so just keep that in mind. Don't worry about it too much if you can't get it immediately. And then we run towards the river here. It's a little... I don't even know what this is called, like a little platform looking thing. We cross this. Generally, I was about to say, generally the scav snipers are a good sign if they're alive. I think those were scav snipers that shot at me. At least I hope so. I cannot confirm. But if the scav snipers are alive and you don't see any bodies up there, sometimes they don't spawn, but if you see them standing up there, that generally means that they haven't been aggroed by anyone and they're just chilling. If they are prone, then you can see which way they are looking, and that means that there is a player in that general direction, or has been in the past couple of minutes at least. So sorry, through the trees, I generally cross that area over there, but I am a little scared of the snipers. So as you can see, we are crossing to this little trench here, and we go to that tank. Underneath the tank, or underneath the bridge where the tank is, to where the next stash is. I'm being a little cautious because I am not 100% sure that was a scav sniper that shot at me, because it was a suppressed shot. It didn't really hurt, so... There's that. Oh, here's a stash. I could really use a rig right now. And we're backing off, and we are keeping to the right this time. There is a weather station right there. It has a stash, couple of filing cabinets. It's a bit of a point of interest, so I skip that. And honestly, I recommend you do the same, because it's not like you need to loot every single container in the map anyway. So once you get to the power lines, you just have to follow them that way. And then right underneath that one over there is the next stash. I'm gonna use another SJ6 because I do want to get out of this raid today. and I don't want to waste too much of your time. I do not want to do a lot of cuts because I know there's a lot of new players watching. They don't know all the movements around the map, so I don't, for the sake of them, I don't want to cut. So underneath this power line, you got a nice little stash. I'm gonna drink this. I'm actually not sure which one's worth more. I think the tool set's worth more at this point. I cannot confirm or deny. Actually, one of the reasons I usually run a Shattered Mask, and I don't know why I'm not running it right now, is because if I find a helmet, I can just drop the mask and I put on the helmet, and I save 4 slots for looting, for more loot. So we're just kind of going straight underneath the power line, and then once we get to this rocky area, you turn right, and on the very top of this, between the trees, you have the next stash. Now, as you can see, I am just filled with loot. So my extracts are the road to customs and railway. Generally, I would just leave to road to customs over there, because I'm full. I don't really need any more loot, so I'd rather get a fast loot run in. But right around over there, I can't even tell from here actually. I believe in those bushes, before you cross the train tracks, over there in those bushes, there's another stash that I would hit only if I'm going to road to customs. If I'm not going, I'm just gonna go this way, because we have a lot of stashes this way. 5 stashes, I believe. And I'm already full, so there is that. We'll do this. And this obviously is inside the bush here, on the outside of the fence. We're gonna go down, and then we go towards the broken down house, which is right over there. This building here, this little roof part, and in the corner here you have the stash. More drinks. Don't really want drinks. Shattered Mask is good, but I think we'll do this for now. We have 3 more stashes, so if you look out from the corner of this building, you just run this way through this bunch of trees here. Once you get to, you see this cross, basically in front of the cross here, underneath the tree is the next stash. Now that's a good helmet. I really don't know if... I think these are worth a couple of rubles. I'm gonna drop the Iskra. I'm gonna drop this because I just don't know what the price of that is. Also, I don't know what the price of that is, but it's 4 slots, so I'm gonna skip it. I'm sure you guys are gonna roast me if it's worth something, so feel free to roast me. And we'll just basically run away from the hill. For more reference, the water is on our right over there. And we just, once you see the that area, walled off area, I don't even know what it's called. You know you're going the right way. Now, I've used 2 SJ6s. Generally, I would use 1 at the starter rate. If you really want to spend some money, you can use SJ6 Trimadol combo, but I would only use it from this side, because if you run into the village, or if you loot the village first, it's a bit of a waste of SJ6. And usually I don't use more than 1 SJ6, because I feel like it cuts into the profits a little too much. Now these little railings are kind of weird. Sometimes you can step over them, sometimes you can't. As you can see, I'm not regening stamina right now because I am a little heavy. So this is where Mule comes into play. But I am so close to my extract that it's just a waste to do it. One thing I do is I go prone and I just keep crawling forward, as you can see on the bottom left. I am still regenerating stamina. I just didn't want to do it in the middle of the road. And you just cross here at that fence. You can see the tiny bushes. And then underneath the tall grass, you have another stash. As you can see, this one's been hit already. It happens sometimes. Mayo. Honestly, I don't know what to drop here. So I'm just gonna leave the mayo. And then there's another one there, which is definitely gonna be looted as well, but still gonna show you guys. Here it is, underneath the branch. Just see if there's anything useful left behind. Not really. The matches might be more, I don't know. And that concludes our video, my friends. I really appreciate you watching all the way here. If you wouldn't mind, drop a like, drop a sub. Helps me out big time. And let me know in the comments how much rubles you made. Thanks again, and have a nice day, my friends. Goodbye.